Hello, hello, and welcome to All Your Channel's weekly news update for the week of May 11th through May 17th. This is the update for returning subscribers on what's going on with the channel and other adjacent things. On today's docket, we will be talking about this week's videos, the Discord vote, talk a little bit about Hero Infinite, and mixed in there somewhere we'll be talking a little bit about some stuff going on with the future of the channel. So stick around for some good news updates, but first let's talk about the wonderful Ko-fi supporters. Now, up until now I've been using these as both a Ko-fi news update and a channel news update. I've decided that was taking way too much time to get those. It was becoming a really long hassle of a video, and it was making it not serve good as either a channel news update or a Ko-fi news update. So instead, there's going to be a separate video for Ko-fi updates that is going to be a once a month thing, and this will be happening every single week to give you all updates on what's happening on the YouTube channel week by week. But it's still worth sorry. So yesterday, the Ko-fi news update of May should have gone up, so go and check that out if you haven't. And it's of course always worthwhile joining these wonderful people here and becoming a Ko-fi supporter. So thank you to Candlecorn, with additional thank you to Destratos and Barbara at the 0.5 tier, and a double thank you to the Atomic Squid at the double tier. Thank you, thank you. So let's take a quick look at this week's YouTube schedule. So we have Hitman going up every single day of the week as voted on by the Ko-fi supporters. We are going to be moving on from the DLCs and bonus missions into the escalation missions, which are these delightful little puzzle boxes the game has built that are just such fun snippets of gameplay. Meanwhile, Fallout New Vegas going up every single day of the week. We are going to be working our way towards helping the Brotherhood of Steel and the Great Khans in the region. And then the Discord series this week is going to be a significant one because the Discord supporter series of Death Stranding, or Discord voted series, but I can use words. Just I've done like 8 takes of this, you get what you get. Join the Gas Network Discord down below in order to vote on what game I play after Death Stranding. And while you're there, check out some of my other content creating friends like Broditis and Mizu and Doodlezar, who all share that Discord with me. Words. This week, we will actually finish the main story of Death Stranding, getting a conclusion to the plot. But don't worry, we're not done with it yet, because we are going to be moving into the post-game content, and there'll be a little bit more to discuss about that, but we're going to hold off until later in the news update to talk about that. In addition to this, to those, has bonus series. On Wednesday, we have an episode of Grounded with Doodlezar going up, in which, hang on, where is it? I'm checking my notes. I work more on the insane building project I began last week. Then on Thursday, we have some Borderlands with Doodlezar, where we just go and kick some raid ass. On Friday, we have some more Zelda Expanded, my art project where I am expanding the map of Zelda 1, using inspiration of Zelda 2's map. That is going to have another episode going up, and just a reminder that is a tri-weekly series. We have episodes of it going up every 3 weeks, so this week it is Zelda 1 Expanded, next week is going to be Shadow Space, the week after that, Zelda 100 Years Later, and then the week after that, Zelda 1 Expanded again. And then we're going to cap off the week with an episode of Hero Infinite, which we'll talk more about that later in this news update. Now, with all of that out of the way, let us take a look at the current standing results of the... Ooh, I did not move the things away in the right order. The Discord vote, yay! Go away, Google full screen. So over on the Discord, every single game that is suggested by any viewer gets shoveled into a big old voting pool alongside other games. This week, we have 2 new contenders, Dead Time Defenders and Touch Type Tail. Bleh. If either of those games seem interesting to you, head on over to the Discord and vote for them. And if there's any other games you want me to play, feel free to suggest them. or check if they're already there by heading into the voting channel of my category on the Discord, hit Control F, and type in the name of the game you want to see me play. Also, remember, you don't just have to suggest games, you can suggest anything you think would be good to see on the channel. Maybe challenge runs of games I've already done, or modded runs. Maybe you could suggest a new art project I could try out. And if people request it enough, it'll happen. So, in first place on the Discord vote with only 10 votes. That's right, only 10 votes. It would be so easy for some of you to hop on over and upset these votes and change what is in the lead. Again, this is determining what we will play after Death Stranding. And again, we're currently in the post-game of Death Stranding, so we're very close to being done. Death Stranding 2 is winning. Now, some of you might know, Death Stranding 2 doesn't come out until next month. So what happens if I don't have enough Death Stranding post-game to bridge the gap? Well, since it's so close to coming out, and I plan on getting it as soon as I can after release, I'm just going to sort of filibuster Death Stranding 1 along in what I'm going to call the road to Death Stranding. This will have me doing, post-game content and a little bit of outside-of-game content, such as a much-requested smasher pass of all the characters and other similar things. Of course, we'll have to do the art to add it to our wonderful banner here, but, that'll come. Just like I do. In second place, with only 9 votes, so just 1 away, and I will say that if this game gets 2 more votes before I beat Death Stranding 2 gets its playthrough beginning, we will hop ship from Death Stranding 1's road to Death Stranding 2 and begin playing this game instead, and we won't hop to Death Stranding 2 until we've beaten this game. We have Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door. We already played through the first game a while ago on the channel. It was a pretty significant moment for the channel, actually. Meaningful time in the channel. And so I'm very excited to sink my teeth into its delightful sequel. In third place with 8 votes, Halo 3 ODST. I've been loving playing through the entire series, and I'm excited to hop into this one when I can. In fourth with 7 votes is a tie between The Stick of Truth and Super Hot. If it came down to it and I had to pick which one of these games I was playing, I'd pick Super Hot, because it's a shorter game and I'd be able to get through it faster than hop to Stick of Truth afterward. Then in 5th place with 6 votes, we have a tie between all of these: Alien Isolation, Cursed Halo, Halo 2 Uncut, Dying Light, Oxenfree, Titanfall 2, The Witcher, Amnesia: The Dark Descent, Just Cause, The Lion's Song, Watch Dogs, and V Rising. Why are we playing Titanfall 2 without playing Titanfall 1? Because Titanfall 1 doesn't have a story mode. So, yeah, we skip straight to Titanfall 2. Now, I know my answer for this is going to change regularly. If I had to pick what I was going to play right now of this list of games, I think I'd pick Watch Dogs, because I love those games, and I would love to get further into the series and play Watch Dogs 2 and Watch Dogs Legion as well. But of course, all of your votes can influence that. Now, let's talk about Hero Infinite, like I said I would earlier. So, Hero Infinite is my ongoing tabletop RPG campaign that I'm doing with my friends that has a superhero theming to it. It's an absolutely delightful time, and it's basically bad fanfiction, the campaign, because it is full of copyrighted characters that I'm stealing for the fun of it. Straight up, all the players get to pick fictional characters they want to see added in the setting, and I dick around with reinterpreting them. Now, I can understand that getting into this series can be a little intimidating because the episodes are so long. So, I've put together this view order guide to help all of you understand that you don't need to watch episodes 1, 2, 3, and 4 to enjoy episode 5. You can watch episode 5 without seeing any of the previous episodes. That's what this guide is supposed to tell you. And now let me quickly talk you through this. First off, there's episode 0, which is honestly skippable, but isn't very long. It is just me giving a brief introduction to what this world is all about. And then we have what I'm calling the Wave 1 episodes, which are a fun piece of trivia. All of those episodes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 8, all take place within the same 48-hour period of each other in universe. And each one of them can be viewed in isolation of each other without viewing anything else, because all of them are the introduction of 6 of our main players. They all serve to just set up and introduce players independent of each other and give you a vibe of the breadth of stories we will tell in this world. They're all isolated stories. That being said, you might notice I put a little chain between episodes 2 and 5. I would honestly recommend that you watch those episodes close together because they subtly reference each other in a way that you could watch them in either order and get the similar experience of like, oh, hang on, fun. I know what's happening here. They connect with each other in a very fun way. With episode 2 technically taking place shortly before episode 5. Then to watch episode 6, all you have to have watched is episodes 1 and 5. So you could just watch 1 and 5 and then hop right to the inexplicable Ollie. Episode 7 is a similar story. To watch episode 7, you only need to watch episodes 6, 3, and 4. To watch episode 9, the only context you need is episodes 7 and 8. And why is there a box around 7 and 9? Because those two episodes directly connect to each other, and I honestly recommend that if you can, watch them back to back. They interlock. The story of episode 7 runs directly into episode 9. Then episode 10 only requires you've seen episode 9. Episode 11 requires you've only seen episode 10, while episode 12 requires you've seen episodes 10 and 2. So episode 2 finally becoming relevant. And then episode 13 requires you've seen 12 and 11, with 14 requiring 13. And again, there's a box around 13 and 14 because they are, interlinked. Now, observant people might realize, hang on a second, there's not that many episodes out. Yes, this week, episode 12 is coming out. But we've already recorded 13 and 14 over on the Twitch end. So they're on here so you guys can start watching things in advance and getting ready. But like I said, take your time going through the series, don't feel pressured, and generally speaking, you can, so long as you're not jumping into a yellow boxed set of episodes, you could jump in anywhere you want. You could jump into episode 10 and have a perfectly fine and enjoyable time. It would be entertaining to watch. You just might be a little bit like, hang on, what's happening with all these characters? You're not getting character introductions, which, by the way, if you want to know which episodes introduce new players, episodes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 11 are all episodes that introduce new players to the setting. So, yeah. But that has been the Hero Infinite section of this, and the Discord vote section. And now I just want to take another moment to talk a little bit about the future of this channel. So, I got a second job recently. I still do not know how that is going to affect the YouTube upload schedule. There's a lot of ways it could affect things, because what a second job boils down to is I have less free time. I am going to be able to stream less often, and as a result, able to record less often. And so I don't know if I'll have to start cutting series. We might see, potentially, depending on how much of my time is taken by this job, we could see Grounded and Borderlands slip away. We could see the Zelda project slip away. And after that, I would even go as far as turning Fallout from a daily series to a once-a-week series, only going up on Fridays. And if it comes to it, I might have to cut it all together. The last things I want to cut are the Ko-fi and Discord series and my tabletop campaigns of Hero Infinite and Shadow Space. But if I have to, those will be cut. I don't know if I'm gonna be cutting anything. Things might go exactly as they have, with no interruption and no change. I simply don't know what the future holds with me having two jobs. And that's why I'd like to once again say, if you've ever enjoyed my channel at all, consider supporting me on Ko-fi. You get to partake in a bunch of votes that influence things like what game I'll play after Hitman, what happens in the Hero Infinite series, and what pet projects I work on in the background. And you also get insight into those pet projects and additional insight post-stream, after streams and stuff. But the real big reason I want to push for it is, I have a couple of milestones set that you can see discussed in the Ko-fi channel, or the Ko-fi trailer that would have gone up yesterday. And if we could hit those milestones, like the first milestone will make me quit my second job I have, because my first job doesn't give me very many hours, which is why I had to get a second job. And now I'm working both. And if I can get enough supporters, I will quit this second job and just go back down to one. And if I get even more after that, I'll quit both altogether and do this full time. And one thing I can promise all of you is if I get to do this full time, yeah, I will finally have a consistent streaming schedule. I will guaranteedly stream certain games on certain days at certain times for all of you, and I will be able to announce those in these news updates. But right now, it's just my life is so in flux that I can't do that. Yeah. That's just, you know, a little call to arms there. But you know what? Even if you don't want to support me on Ko-fi, like if you don't have the money to spare to donate $1 and become a member, don't worry about it. Just you being here means the world to me. The fact that you're subscribed, because if you're watching this, I'm assuming you're subscribed since the channel trailer is replaced by this when you subscribe. Like, but even if you're not subscribed, just you watching this video and getting 16 minutes in on this news update, you watching any of my videos, you catching any of my streams, you talking with me on Discord, I appreciate all of it. I read every comment I get. I add every requested game to the Discord vote. I appreciate all of you so much. And I want to do more. I constantly want to put more content out and make more for all of you and do more. I do so bad. And it's just, you know, life. But anyway, I hope you've all enjoyed this weekly news update. Love all you very, very much, and ta-ta for now.